Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Winter's Wish, continuing Kinji's route. We did not get boned by Kinji last time. Listen, we had a nice touching moment, but man, he threw us for a loop by throwing us down on the futon and wrapping his legs around us. I mean, come on. Also, I am sorry. I don't know how long we're gonna go. Last part was very long. This part might be a little under time just because my allergies are really killing me, but I'm a little bit behind, so we're going to try to power through. But sometime before the daytime open house, I was studying poetry in Okuni's room. I read Hyakunin Issue for the first time only after I came here, so I didn't understand the meaning at first. Hyakunin? But as I've studied, I'm starting to understand the gist of it. Oh god, Bird, I love you, but your toenails suck. For example, this poem read, even for a time as short as a piece of reed from Naniwa's marsh, we must never meet again in this life. Is this what you ask? The poem invoked the pain of not being able to meet someone. It was exactly how I felt at the moment, and I was hopelessly drawn to the verses. It might come off as snide, but if I sent something like this to a man, would they feel excited? I'll make you fall in love with me. After I'd made that demand, making Kinji fall in love with me became my main goal, along with my investigation of the brothel. Cement my trust with the brothel and proceed with my mission, all while making Kinji's heart mine. It's just so funny. She's like, I'll make you fall in love with me despite the fact that you are a vessel and don't have a heart. But again, every time, and like a couple of times now, even in the last part, he did the like hand on his chest thing, and it's like he feels something. There's something going on. And I think that he's smart enough to know something is going on. Because I feel like that's also why he asked, like, do you have the power to like make people feel things and control emotions? And you're like, no. And he's like, sus. Like, you know what I mean? Because I feel like he's like, something is different in me now that you've come around, and I think it's magic, you witch. And maybe eventually, like, so I feel like, like, he likes to mess with you, so I wouldn't be surprised if he was like, there's something going on in here, but like, yeah, well, make me fall in love with you, because I don't have emotions, and then he's like, maybe I do, but I want to see what you do, you know what I mean? Also, even if he's like not suspecting that his heart is cracking open, right? It's definitely very Kinji like to be like, sure, make me fall in love with you then. Because he's like, I just want to see the shit you're going to do. It's going to be fun to watch. While another part inside of him is like, actually, it's because we probably do like you deep down inside. We just don't know it yet. But the main focus is like, it's going to be ridiculous watching you try. Because he's a bit of an ass. Ugh, but that's why we love him so much. It was quite a difficult task, but I had a plan in mind. Self-improvement. It wasn't odd for a courtesan to try improving herself. If I studied more and became more beautiful, the brothel owner would acknowledge my hard work. As a bonus, Kinji would reconsider his views toward me. It would be like killing two birds with one stone. The thing is, though, the only thing I don't like necessarily about that is, like, you don't want to change everything about yourself. So Kinji's like, oh, before when you were you? Nah, but like now that you're like somebody else? Yeah. I mean, you always try to improve yourself as life goes on and you change, but the general you is still there. The foundation of who you are never changes. You know what I mean? Like, and if, generally, for most people, you can go from being a horrible human being to being a good person, but the people that are attracted to you and into you for being a horrible person aren't going to want you when you're a good person, and vice versa, So, like, you kind of want Kinji to like you for the person you are, despite your flaws, not, oh, well, now that you're perfect and you're, like, I mean, I guess her like, oh, you know what, I'm going to try to learn new things or get interested in things that he might like and just find new hobbies and interests is fine. But I don't know, it feels weird the way it's like, I'm going to become more beautiful and whatever. And it's like, you can't really, like, you are the level of beauty that you already are. Like, you can improve, like, oh, I use better stuff on my skin to get, to whatever, or I put some makeup on or whatever, but you're not going to go from, like, the hideously malformed to, like, a gorgeous supermodel without plastic surgery. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's crazy. Like, I don't know. It feels weird. Because, like, I mean, I know that's not what they're trying to say, but I think it's one of those, like, I feel like I don't want her to try to change everything about herself. You want Kinji to be like, no, I like you for who you are, stupid. You know? Because that's, like, the whole point. You want someone to like who you are. Not, oh, you're okay, but, like, if I could change you, because there's, like, too many people trying to change you. And, like, again, bettering yourself here and there and, like, adding things to who you are as a person isn't bad. But it's like, I don't want them to go down the route of, like, I'm going to change everything. I highly doubt she could change everything about herself. And she has grown as a person and learned things and whatever from being a country bumpkin to, like, now I'm living in the city and I got to adjust. And you are going to adjust. But you're not changing drastically. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's where they're going with it. I'm just, like, taking it way too, like, intense. I'm not okay right now. My allergies are so freaking bad. My sinuses hurt. So I'm not, like, full braining, and I think I'm a little more, like, I don't want to say irritable, but it's more like, I don't like it. I want you to change yourself. And it's like, well, she's not really doing that. She's like, I want to learn new things, and, like, expanding my knowledge isn't changing yourself. It's just growing as a person. So, okay, fair enough. I'm just being nitpicky. Anyway. Lately, I've made a habit of checking the mirror when I wake up. Thanks to that, no one has pointed out any bags under my eyes. I mean, you can't help those if you don't get a good night's sleep. I've started putting on makeup and using hair oil too, so I've become much more feminine, I think. As I touched my hair, which felt much smoother than before, I used my other hand to flip through the book. And I mean, things like that, like, oh, I wear makeup and I use hair oil and I do all this stuff. It's like, I mean, if it's one of those, like, well, I never had access to that stuff before, so I never really thought about it because it didn't matter. And now I'm getting exposed to it and it's something you enjoy doing for yourself. That's different. You know what I mean? Than, like, I'm only doing this because he'll like it. No, that's wrong. If you're like, I was never exposed to this, or I never had any reason, but, like me, I don't get dressed up and put on makeup and wear nice clothes to lounge around my house. Like, why the fuck would I do that? But if I'm going out, hell yeah, I'm going to get dressed up because I like it. I could roll out of the house in my, like, baggy pants and my t-shirt if I really wanted to. And my lounge clothes. I don't give a fuck. But I dress up for me because I get to. Makes me excited. But, like, so her doing this stuff like this, like putting on makeup and hair oil, she's like, I get to play with this stuff that I never experienced before, and it's kind of fun. Like, if you're doing it for you, but also part of me is all like, but also if you're doing it to get Kinji to fall in love with you, it's kind of fucked up. But, like, I guess I'd do anything to get Kinji to fall in love with me too, even if inside I'm like, it's all a lie. He's going to be like, no, I like it when you look stupid. He's already said he likes us when we're stupid. He likes our stupid face. I'm not sure that's a compliment, but anyway, it sure is quiet around this time. It was normal to go to the bathhouse or to eat breakfast at 4.5 bells in the morning. Okuni was no exception, and she was eating breakfast downstairs now. Speaking of downstairs, I have to check if there's a room further below. Before, when I discussed the location of the Toyo with Kinji and the others, I was told there was a high chance it was underground. It's funny because Kinji was supposedly there that you didn't, like, have a, like, he's leaving. There's, like, it just kind of glossed over the whole, like, morning after, even though nothing happened, where people are like, so what happened? How was it? You know what I mean? Like, just, like... After that, I discreetly watched over the servants carrying food, and, as I expected, I often saw them walking around the first floor. They must be carrying food somewhere, but I always lose sight of them halfway. Because there was nowhere to bring food to on the first floor, it could have been taken underground. However, the entrance was likely hidden away. Yeah, it's probably, like, a hidden panel in the wall or something. Incidentally, there was one incident that made me suspect that I had also been in the Toya before. Just the other day, I'd been locked away somewhere under the suspicion that I had tried to escape the red light district. That's a good point, because she wasn't just in a normal jail. Perhaps the place itself was the Toya. Kanaro and Shinzo had been beaten also mentioned that they had been taken to the same room as I was. Unfortunately, they were always taken there with blindfolds on, so they didn't know the exact location. It might have been a room for punishment, but that wouldn't explain why they were blindfolded. So there was still a chance that it was the Toya. But then why didn't Saki reply to me? I heard from Okuni that Saki had been infected with the Celestial Maiden's robes and was receiving treatment in the Toya. Seriously? The music was perfectly fine when I started. Like, why does it do this? Makes me wonder if it's really glitchy or if it's just my headset. I want to check it. Hold on. Okay, it's not. I listened and I can hear the music in the background and I'm like, it's not. It sounds perfectly fine. So it's just like either my freaking computer or my headset, which is really annoying because my headset was kind of expensive. Granted, it's old, but it's not the cord for my headset into my computer because that's fucking new, and it was doing it before. But then is it but it can't be the headphone jack because then my microphone would sound fucked up too. But it's not. It just sounds wrong to me, and it sounds perfectly fine in the recording. So all I can think is that my recording software is making it sound crappy, but it's recording it fine. It's recording fine, but I hear it as being janky. Because it's not like it does it all the time, it's only sometimes. But apparently now when it's like, fuck, the music sounds janky in the background, it's been janky for a while. It's really not at all, and I sound like a crazy person. Good for me. Awesome. Anyway. I heard from Okuni that Saki had been infected with the Celestial Maiden's robes and was receiving treatment in the Toya. Okay, we read that. When I was locked away, the brothel owner and Okuni had interrogated her, so she might not have been imprisoned in the Toya yet back then. I let out a small yawn. I had woken up early that morning to take care of Okuni again, and I usually became sleepy around this time. Hold. She had to yawn, I had to sneeze. No, if I sleep here, I'll cause trouble for Okuni. I shook my head and brushed away the drowsiness. But the drowsiness assaulted me once more. I did not sleep well last night, so this isn't helping me. A lot of the things had happened recently, so it seemed that I had accumulated fatigue without realizing it. A lot of things. The hell? I can't fall asleep. Despite thinking that, my eyelids grew heavier and heavier. But if I sleep, then a folding screen entered my vision. If I'm behind that, Okuni might not notice me. I'm so sleepy. As soon as I reached the screen, I completely lost consciousness. Wow. In doing? Yeah, it seems. I see. With you, I got up while rubbing my eyes. Yeah, she won't see me. They're like, oh, if I hide behind that screen and fall asleep, Okuni won't notice me. I'm like, we're gonna hear some shit. Kind of knew this was gonna happen. The nap really hit the spot. Titties! It so happens. Hearing Okuni's voice from the other side of the screen, I jumped. A customer? The voices were faint, and I couldn't hear them clearly, but there was no mistaking the fact that Okuni was talking to someone. What should I do? I couldn't possibly come out when a customer was already here, which meant all I could do was stay silent and hide my presence until they left. If there's a customer, then they'll probably... I cleaned up Okuni's futon every day, so I knew all too well what they were about to do. Yeah, and you're gonna have to listen! Would I be able to remain calm listening to it, even if it was through the screen? Thanks, but won't it, for you... No trouble. You are my... Are they having a fight? If it was a troublesome customer, it would actually be better if I came out. I was about to stand up and come out from behind the screen door when, "Please stay by my side." Though she didn't speak in a loud voice, her words clearly reached my ears. No, it didn't sound like they're having a fight, they're talking about something. This is the first time I've heard Okuni talk like this. She wasn't arguing with anyone. She was talking to the man she loved. It's going to be Tatsunosuke. I slowly returned behind the screen. I feel awkward about eavesdropping, but I don't think I can come out. Even so, I had no intention of listening to their conversation. I placed my hands over my ears and held still, waiting for their conversation to end. How are you going to know it ends if you can't hear them? Then I'll see you. Is it over already? I moved my hands away from my ears and listened intently. The window opened. Are they getting some fresh air? He's climbing out the window! A gust of wind blew inside and made me shiver. And then... Achoo! Without thinking, I let out a sneeze. Footsteps gradually drew closer to me. Species! What you should do is lay there and pretend you're asleep. Be like, Okuni? And pretend you've been asleep the whole time. Like, oh my god! I fell asleep back here. I took a nap. I'm so sorry. Holy shit. You're not with a customer, are you? Pretend that you heard nothing and that you were sleeping and you kind of just started to wake up. Hello. Yeah, because now we look sus as fuck. Were you eavesdropping behind there? I'd be like, no, I fell asleep and I just woke up when the window opened. I wasn't. Then what were you doing here? I started to feel sleepy while studying, but I thought it might bother you if I slept out in the open, so I went behind the screen. I'd be like, I just woke up when the window opened and it made me sneeze. Like, why are you opening such a cold window? Like, just pretend you didn't hear anyone else. You sure are honest. Come on, can you stand? Thank you very much. Okuni tugged on my hand and pulled me up. I'm sorry. It's fine. In our line of work, naps are more common than you think. More importantly, don't you have a daytime customer today? It's already time for the daytime open house. Why don't you get prepared and hurry on over to him? Right. I lowered my head to Okuni and started to leave the room. I wonder who exactly Okuni was talking to. Don't mention you heard anyone. As I thought that, I went to the escort tea house where my customer, Kinji, waited. Kinji, I apologize for being late. Did I keep you waiting? No, I just arrived. As he said that, Kinji left the escort tea house. It was the norm for courtesans to be accompanied by male workers, Kamuro and Shinzo, when they went to greet a customer at the escort tea house. Therefore, it seemed that it would be a lively trip. It's only daytime, and I'm not even Taiyu, so it wouldn't be a so-called Orion procession, but Oiron procession. I can't pronounce that. Even so, it would cost quite a bit of money. As a side note, Kinji had already paid the bill in full. Even if we were to cut some corners, the escort tea house wouldn't complain. So, where should we go? Why don't we go to the shrine first? Kinji nodded at my words. Up to this point, if there was a new development in the investigation or anything to report, we would meet at the shrine. The moment I chose that as our first destination, Kinji must have understood what I was trying to say. The shrine was as quiet as ever today. We sat down on the curb together and I opened my mouth. I haven't pinpointed the location of the Toya yet, but as you all suspected, I think it's underground. Could you tell me your basis for that? I told Kinji about how I was mistaken for an escapee and was locked away in the punishment room. I added that I believed that room to be the Toya. So that was why your limbs were tied up that day? Yes. And this is because you act on your emotions. Had you simply pretended not to see anything, you would have easily been able to avoid your Mizuage. But I can't just abandon Saki. Even if we could go back in time, I would do the same thing. No, not really. Well, I mean, okay, not to what she's saying, but to what he said. Like, if you hadn't, you would have been able to avoid. No, I wouldn't have. Because they were. How would I have avoided it? If I had just pretended I didn't see Saki escaping or walking out, okay, and followed her, how would I have avoided Lord Hisakura popping my cherry? How would I have avoided it? It was set up. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have been able to avoid it. Like that was a done deal. That wasn't like we're gonna do this because Saki tried to escape and so did you. That wasn't a punishment for that. It was something arranged before that. So I don't know how he's expecting that Hisakura would have backed the fuck off. You know what I mean? Like that makes no fucking sense. Kenji, think with your goddamn brain. Because I know you're not thinking with your heart, so think with your motherfucking brain cells, because that makes no sense to me. I made my statement fully prepared for Kenji to say, "This is why humans are foolish," and that exasperated tone of his. "It's true. You would definitely do such a thing. As a result, you were able to find the place that you suspect is the Toya. I suppose the ends justify the means." You aren't mad? Let me ask you this in return. Do you want me to be mad? I mean, maybe. Depends. I can scold you all night if that's what you desire. You know, when you phrase it like that, stop it. And he says it with that fucking sly, like, slutty little face of his. Look at that look on his face, like, I can scold you all night if that's what you want. I mean, when you look at me like that, it might be. God damn it. No, I'll pass. I don't know about that. I had seen with my own eyes what happened to people who made Kinji mad. Oh, well, that's true. I was taking this more kinky fun times, not Kinji will probably break my arm. I shook my head furiously, and Kinji gave a simple, "I see," while backing off. There's also the chance that the punishment room is not the Toya, but considering both require no noise to escape, they're highly likely to be near each other. Whether it's the punishment room or the Toya, if any of them are underground, it would be nigh impossible for you to pinpoint them by yourself. I shall look for an opening and investigate the first floor. As I'm a guest, I'll be able to move more freely than you and should be free of any suspicion. Spacey, we're in the last stretch of the case. Let's proceed with caution. Yeah, we were finally going to figure out the source of the illness. My back naturally straightened. By the way, do you enjoy sweet things? Yes, but also bitter things. That's why I like you. I wouldn't say I guess he's not really bitter, but he's sure as hell not sweet. When he's being sweet, we love it though. And then he does horrible, then he's mean, so. What? I tilted my head at the sudden question. And there's a dessert tea house in the red light district as well. We could go there and have some tea, or we could also visit some accessory shops if you prefer. I like how you're gonna take me places to buy me. I know I'm sure it's keeping up the ruse, but also at the same time, like, look at you being adorable. You're gonna buy me presents? Snacks and presents? Oh. His sudden invitation had confused me at first, but I was finally able to understand. Kinji and I are supposed to be customer and courtesan, so it'd be weird if we weren't off on a date somewhere. Kinji was asking if I wanted that spot to be at a tea house or at a store. I like sweet things, and the dessert tea houses here are said to be really delicious. I want you to taste them too. And then we shall go to a tea house. Kinji held his hand out. This means he wants to hold hands, right? Thank you. I nervously held the hand that he offered and stood up. What a dream. I'm going on a date with Kinji. I know, I'm thinking, we're going on a date with Kinji. Yeah, she just said it out loud. She said it internally, but I had to read it out loud, but that's exactly what we're all thinking. Very excited. I don't care if it's fake. I'm here for it. With a smile on my face, I left the shrine while holding hands with Kinji. Good lord, my sinuses are so bad. Oh, hey, isn't that Kin the kabuki actor? I guess even the most beautiful guys have to take care of business from time to time. But man, he sure is pretty. Even the most beautiful guys have to take care of business from time to time. What in the... Why is that so creepy? Are you... I mean, I guess you're just assuming that, like, oh, he's gonna come to the red light district to get a prostitute because, like, you just assume that he's getting pussy thrown at him. Which, to be fair, we've seen him walk down the red light district, and yes. So I would assume if Kenji really wanted it, he'd just have to look, and half of the men and women in this town would be throwing themselves at him. We definitely know the men would. Are you seeing that the men's like, God, he's pretty. Kenji is the one making half these men in fucking Edo bisexual, is all I'm saying. And I'm here for it. With looks like that, your run-of-the-mill courtesan would hardly stand a chance. The men passing by looked at Kenji and whispered to each other. I get it. Kenji really is so beautiful. After I fell in love with Kenji, he seemed to glow even brighter than before. When I looked up, I could see Kenji's sculpted face, and I had to let out a soft sigh. His face is so delicate. His skin is so smooth. You really fancy my face, don't you? If I didn't know any better, I'd say you only liked me for my looks. Well, I mean, that did start it. No, of course not. Your face is beautiful, and I like it, but I like you along with your personality. Even if it is gruff and abusive. Sorta. I mean. If you say so. I think I offended him. I'm finally on a date with him, but now the mood is awful. Oh, speaking of which, that was when I remembered what I wanted to hand to him. Kenji, please take this. I took out a love letter from my sleeve and handed it to him. A love letter? Yes. Oh, you should read it after you go back. No, wait! Before Kenji could finish hearing what I had to say, he opened up the seal. You're like, please don't read it in front of me! It's so-so. It's alright. Oh! You know, but I think that's good. What Kenji's gonna like about us is like you write ridiculously silly love letters that aren't even that great. But you know what? That's what I like about you, kid. You're just you, you know? Oh, he hurts my soul, but it's so funny. I was at a loss for words at his merciless criticism. What kind of idiot would write out the entirety of a poem and hand it to someone? A true courtesan would make an allusion to a poem for the customer to decipher. Ugh. It was cruel to ask that of me when I'd only just started to understand waka poetry. My strategy to make Kenji fall in love with me with poetry was a failure. I'll study more next time. I sadly slumped my shoulders and held my hand out. I really kind of want him doing all this, like, as him teasing you and fucking with you, and then when you're like, I just can't do anything right, but like, you know what? It's not about the stupid, it's not about learning poetry or doing all of this. I want you to be yourself, and I like you for who you are. Dummy! You know what I mean? But I just wanted to see you suffer for a little while. Struggle and try, you know? Like, and be like, and it's also kind of cute and adorable that you tried so hard, you know, to make me fall in love with you, but all you had to be was you. You know, like, you're like, you ass! But thank you, and I love you. Like, you know? I don't really know how it's gonna... Whatever way it turns out, I'm still gonna love this man, but... Oh, did I read that? I sadly slumped my shoulders and held out my hand. Oh, what's with that hand? Huh? Aren't you going to shove it back at me? I will do no such thing. This was gifted to me, so I shall take it home. He's going to accept it even though it's so-so? He might simply be planning to use it as material to mess with me, but even so, it made me happy. If you want to make me fall in love with you, avoid being too ambitious. I think it'd be best if you focused on what makes you unique. But see, he's basic right there is like, why don't you just be you, dummy? Like, but in not so many words. What makes me unique? Despite his advice, I still had no idea how I could make Kinji fall in love with me. Because, like, right now we're trying really hard, and he's like, just be you. Like, you're helpless. Here, I'll show you an example. Thank you very much. At that moment, the atmosphere around Kinji changed. Why is he glowing? Like, their atmosphere around him sure as hell didn't change. He's glowing. It's like the lights of heaven. I think we just died, guys. Spacey. Is he blushing? He's blushing! How did you do that? He called out my name with a sorrowful tone and a melancholic gaze. My heart stirred. He doesn't look melancholy. He looks like he's trying to flirt with me. I love you. He lowered his gaze and gently held my hand. With that simple action, I became captivated by Kinji. I'm feeling dizzy. This is what makes me unique, is that you make me dizzy? Like, sir, pretty sure if you said this to anybody, they'd pass out. This isn't just because I'm in love with Kinji, is it? If he had done this to me before I had fallen for him, I probably would have been just as captivated. Exactly. Wars could be fought. Even entire nations could fall for Kinji's sake, like the most beautiful of sirens. Poetry right there. You should have just said that out loud to him. As I thought that, the atmosphere around Kinji changed again. The familiar air meant that he had returned from his act to the normal Kinji. And now, use that as an example. Use that as an example and do what I did. I understand? To be honest, I couldn't act as alluringly as that. And besides, Kinji didn't expect anything of the sort from me either. Kinji is a kabuki actor. He used his acting to bring out what was unique to him. So I should do right for me and purposefully copy Kinji, be straightforward with my feelings. Huh. We've already been straightforward with our feelings, and that did nothing. So, like... But what does copying Kinji really get us in this scenario? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, copying him, how is that unique to us being able to copy him? Aside from, like, oh, you're really good at, like, seeing and doing and learning and picking up things. Like, okay, I guess that's a talent we probably have, sure. But, like... We're straightforward and honest, and people have said that about, oh, you're honest to a fault, like, whatever. But, again, how does being straightforward with my feelings when we've, like, I'm going to be straightforward, and he's like, God, you're not getting it because you've already told me all of this. Where at least this is different, but I'm still not sure how it helps us here. How is that unique to us? You know what I mean? Because he's like, do what's unique to you. And then we're going to just copy exactly what he does. How is that being unique? But being straightforward, we've already done. So what is the point of that? I don't know. Both of these confuse me. I'm not really sure. So I don't know. I really don't know here. Oh. Okay, well, there you go. There's a reason for this. I don't know, because one of these is going to get us a bad ending. Oh, wait. Where am I? Oh, shit. I was on the wrong... We didn't have to do a save file there. I was on the wrong guide. I scrolled up on the wrong guide, guys. So we didn't need that save file. Do we need a second save file? We do. Remind me to copy over that one. When I scrolled up and I was like, that's not an answer here. And then I realized, you know, it would help because I know this should say Chapter 6 Kinji and not Episode 4. I was on our Sympathy Kiss guide. Whoopsie! I didn't have the right tab open. Alright, anyway, we copy Kinji. I didn't need to save there, but... Alright. Okay, I'm not really sure how that is unique to us, but... Wait, if I purposely copy Kinji here, it might take him by surprise. Ah, okay, alright, okay. I was told to do what was unique to me, but I really didn't know what that would look like. In that case, an element of surprise could be the key to victory. Right. Because we are unique for being able to surprise him, that's for sure. All right, okay, all right. Kinji, I sorrowfully said his name and gently lowered my gaze. I love... And try again. What? Wait, at least let me finish saying the whole thing. I'm sorry. I just couldn't bear to look at you. Was it really that bad? Now then, there's no use in standing around talking, so let's continue our conversation at the tea house. That's right. Hold on. Oh dear God, my allergies. I nodded at his suggestion. With that, we once again started to walk in the direction of the tea house. The day after that... is it morning already? I have to wake up and go to Okuni's. The thought crossed my mind, but my body wanted to sleep and couldn't move. Just a bit more. A little bit more. I couldn't resist the warm drowsiness, just as I was about to close my eyes again. Oh, okay. When we were like, I don't want to wake up, I was like, is Kinji fucking here? Kinji's fucking here. You know what? I'm sorry, this would startle the fuck out of me. Oh man, this man is gorgeous. Spacey, good morning. Because she just forgot that he was, like, okay, because we were supposed to be doing the deed, obviously. Like, I could hear Kinji's voice from incredibly close by, and my sleepiness evaporated in an instant. Mine would too. What? Why is Kinji in the same futon as me? For starters, this was the brothel, and there was no way Kinji should be here. Why are you so surprised? Did you already forget how we shared a bed last night? I mean, I'm really upset that the game glossed over that and we just woke up next to you and I don't get the, like, awkward cuddling. He didn't just reserve me for the daytime open house, but the nighttime open house too, and then... don't be so misleading! We slept in the same futon, but we didn't do anything! The other courtesans were still asleep. If I spoke too loudly, I could wake them up. And so I argued with Kinji in a whisper. What if I told you that you'd done something to me? What if I told you you'd done something? Look at the look on his face! What if I told you you'd done something to me? He looks like... what if you touched me? As he said that, Kinji used his hands to fix the juban that had become disheveled in his sleep. Is that like his hair? When he did so, I got a peek at his collarbone, and I held my breath at the sheer eroticism. That's his outfit. I love this. She's a Victorian man seeing ankle. She's seeing a man's collarbone, and she's losing a fucking shit. To be fair, I would also lose my shit seeing Kinji's collarbone. Let's be fucking for real. Did I really do something? I'm so terribly sorry. I hurriedly got up and bowed my head low towards Kinji. It was a joke. You must be careful not to believe such lies. I mean, your kimono was messed up, so I really thought I had done something. She's like, your kimono was messed up, so I thought I tore it off in my sleep and tried to have my way with you because you're so ridiculously sexy. I gotta give the bird a break. He's getting a little fidgety. But seriously though, the eroticism of his collar. We Victorian man and ankle right now. Oh, those ankles. How sexy. To be fair, if Kinji showed me his ankles, I'd probably fall the fuck over as well. It's Kinji. I'm seeing his hands probably fucking makes me fall over. The man exists, okay? A strand of his hair makes me lose my shit. Hold on. Sorry, allergies. And to be fair, a strand of his hair makes other people lose their shit. We remember that from the guard in the common route, right? Can I just get a strand of your hair? And he's like, the fuck is wrong with you? I want to be stroking his hair from behind, like, I'll get it for you. Your kimono was messed up. I thought I did something. He's like, no, I don't just sleep in one fucking position. This is what happens when you sleep in a futon. And for your information, I haven't laid a finger on you either, so there's no need to worry. I would hope you wouldn't lay a finger on me unless I'm awake, because, like, I would like to be conscious for this, thanks. Saying that, Kinji got up as well, and then he went to the mirror and began to tidy himself up. I'll clean up the futon in the meantime. I did this in Okuni's room every day, so I had become familiar with the process. I rolled up the futon and shoved it into the closet. Kinji, may I use that as well? Kinji turned to me and allowed me to use the vanity with a go ahead. After I said my thanks and sat down, I ran a comb through my hair. When I first came here, my hair wasn't that easy to comb through, but with everyday care, it had become quite silky. Though it wasn't as smooth as Kinji's, I could be proud of the fact that I had fairly beautiful hair. Still, I'd never thought that Kinji would stay with me until the morning, even if it was for the mission. I was unsure if it was even possible, but when I asked Okuni, she told me it was. In fact, there were many courtesans who preferred that. She also taught me that guests who didn't return even in the morning were called itsuzuke? If the guests stayed the night, the courtesans would earn a higher fee and could therefore pay off their debts faster. Well, yeah, because, like, you didn't just hump it down. Like, you stayed long. Like, time and a half, man. That being said, if guests became itsuzuke, then it also hurt their wallets. Right, because you cost more. Incidentally, Kinji told me that the shogunate was paying for my fees and assured me that it didn't affect his finances. I was wondering, did we bring that up in the last part? Like, who's actually paying for this? I feel like the only Wabon is like, Yoshimune's over there like, no problem. The government is paying for Kinji's hooker. That probably happens a hell of a lot more than we want to know about. It probably is not even probably. You know it does. Some government officials are getting their hookers paid for on your taxpaying dime. Like, let's be fucking real. And that's kind of what's happening here. Although, to be fair to this game, we're on a mission and we are undercover, and there is a reason for this. So it's for the good of the people. This is not like Kinji just trying to get his rocks off at the taxpayer's dime. Like, you know. Good, but it's still fucking funny. Kinji, I apologize for the wait. As I thought that, I finished my preparations. Kinji had also put on his kimono and was ready to go. And do we eat breakfast downstairs? Yes, let me guide you there. So then, it's not just, well, here's the thing. I guess because there is like a morning routine where you get up and you see your customer off, but it must just be at a certain time, and this is, you stay longer past that. So it's like 6 a.m., get your fucking ass out, and this is like, oh, now it's 10 a.m. You know what I mean? Because, like, I mean, I'm sure there's some that come, do their business, and walk out the door, but, you know, they made it sound like, originally, that, like, oh, they'll show their customers off, and that was, like, early in the morning. So this, I'm guessing, is a little bit later. Like, normally you'd show your customers off, do some, then go to breakfast, whatever. Like, I don't know. In order to eat together, the two of us descended the stairs. There were a lot of senior courtesans there for the same reason we were, and... Wait, isn't that Kin? I have your ukiyo-e! And they keep calling him Kin. Say Kinji. Don't give him a nickname. Don't give him a nickname unless he okays it. He's never okayed it. Me too. As soon as they saw Kinji's face, the senior courtesans started to gather around Kinji, pushing to be at the front of the crowd. Thank you very much. As for Kinji, though he acted somewhat annoyed, he didn't brush them away. Can I have a lock of your hair? What did we just say 2 minutes ago? Hey, wait your turn! It's right, we want some too! We're over here like, I'm gonna have to kill these bitches, touching my man. I knew that Kinji was famous as a kabuki actor, and I could understand the feeling of wanting to crowd around someone like him. But I feel so uncomfortable. I wanted to immediately go to Kinji and pull him away. He's my Kinji. I like how we're getting... He's mine! Wait. Jealous thoughts ran through my mind, and I tried to shake them off. I like the fact that this man's making us a little jealous. We get a little crazy. Hey, Kinji! Then a coquettish older sister leaned into Kinji. I've contracted syphilis and I'm not long for this world. Please show me one last good dream. No, girl, get out! The older sister had tears in the corners of her eyes, and she gently placed a hand to her mouth. Hold on, you're not allowed to buy a different courtesan at the same brothel. And you said you have syphilis, but you're a form folk. You can't even contract it. Speezy, you're to blame too. Isn't Kinji supposed to be your lover? Don't just stand there. Say something. It would have been so funny if we had jumped in and been like, hey, back off my man. And if we had just gotten like, whoa, just pulled him aside like, he's mine. And he would have been like, oh. I kind of wonder what his react. That would have definitely been unexpected, and I feel like we wanted the element of surprise. I think that would have surprised him. Call out to Kinji. Call out to the courtesan. Well, I feel like calling out to her is like, hey, don't touch my man. That's what I want to say. Like, Kinji, come with me. Let's get out of here. They're both good options if that's what we're going with. So again, I'm not really sure. Oh, we call out to Kinji. Okay. Kinji, what is it? I know I'm not much right now, but I'll do my best and become prettier. So please don't look away. I wanted you to look at me and only me. I stared at Kinji, willing that thought in my gaze. My oh my, she's so desperate, it's adorable. You're as innocent as you look. I can't help but smile. Were we like this in the past? Oh, time is a cruel mistress. Yeah, it really fucking is. Whoa! The older sisters who had crowded around Kinji now started to gather around me. You're so right. Oh, so now you're acting all buddy-buddy? You're the one who was flirting with Kinji in the first place. I know, I'm sorry. He's so much more handsome than his Yukio-e. I just had to share a bed with a man like that at least once. God, we've shared a bed with him, but like just sleeping, but still good enough. I apologize to you too. I won't seduce Kinji anymore. It won't work anyway. Right. As she said that, the older sister patted my head. I see. So she wasn't serious. Did Kinji not say anything because he also knew that the courtesan wasn't serious? It doesn't matter even if she was. Kinji has no fucking interest, even in us, and he's gonna marry us. Like, we're gonna crack his... Like, he has no interest in any of this. He's here for a job. And even with that job, we ain't doing anything. You know what I mean? I glanced at Kinji. But for some reason, Kinji was looking at me in a foul mood. Is something wrong? Nothing. Maybe he's jealous because we had her all to ourselves. If you like her that much, you should just redeem her already. Hey, Kinji, do you have plans to redeem her? You lot! Then the chaperone and Okuni showed up there. Stop pestering our customers. Any more of that and you'll be off to the punishment room. Jeez, we were just joking around. I worked up a sweat, so I'm going to go to the bathhouse. I'll go too. Me too. The older sisters gathered immediately, and left the room. Like, the older sisters gathered immediately, left the room. I feel like there should be "and" in there. The chaperone, Okuni, Kinji, and myself were left in the room. It's great that the two of you are close, but Kinji is famous. Coming here will only cause a scene. Next time, I recommend you order delivery to your room. Oh, that'll be so much more fun. Breakfast in bed with Kinji. The chaperone didn't agree or disagree with Okuni, but her eyes were ordering me to do the same. I understand. I'll be more careful for next time. Please do. Now it'll be too late if you order delivery now, and you can eat here for today. After Okuni said just that, the chaperone and Okuni went to the kitchen together. Kinji and I looked at each other and nodded and followed behind them to the kitchen. After we finished our breakfast, we returned to the room. That went well. Yeah. We would invest investigate the inside of the brothel after everyone went to sleep, so I wanted to conserve as much energy as possible. So as to stay in our room from here on out, Kinji and I decided to act out that little scene from before. Now we can stay in the room the whole time and they won't suspect a thing. Though, it'd be boring if we didn't do anything until nighttime. Do you want to do some Sugoroku? Oh, Sugoroku puzzles and pass the time? You are treated quite well by the courtesans here. Huh? Really? I stopped my hand as it was about to take the Sugoroku out and tilted my head curiously. I think they treat me normally. Then they wouldn't have asked me about the redemption, and they likely teased you in such a way because they think you're cute. Correct me if I'm wrong, but are you angry? I'm not. But you sounded pretty pointed just now. It must be your imagination. Are you jealous that the other courtesans like me? Because, like, they're women. You know that, right? Is it my imagination? I suppose that's fine, but if I made you upset in any way, please don't hesitate to tell me, okay? I'm really not angry. It was only a little troublesome being pestered by the courtesans. I'm not mad at you, so there's no need to worry. When he said that, Kinji's expression was the same as usual. Glad. That's a relief to hear. So, are you alright with passing the time with some Sugoroku? Kinji nodded. And so we enjoyed some Sugoroku until it was time. Okay. I was really hoping that scene would go a little bit longer. Because we still have like 8-ish minutes, I think. Or less. I don't know because I had to stop but I think that one was like 11, so like 50 some odd minutes. But my allergies are killing me and I don't want another part that goes like 30 minutes over. This could only go 5 minutes over, it could go 10, it could go 20. I don't, but because I feel like ass right now, I think I'm going to stop. This one's a little bit shorter, but last time was like a half an hour over, so it's okay. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.